guys, welcome back. We're gonna get started here. We're gonna try working on the actual roof of this and put some time in on that tonight because it's going to be a time consuming process. So this one's pretty obvious. Make that straight. All right, step number one, cutting these down. All right, step number two. I have to use my table saw, but this is going to be a pitched roof, so that means each of these, I'm doing the same length of this house, but I'm not going to worry about figuring out a degree angle. These are all the same width, so the pitch is just going to be from corner to corner. Like I'm going to straight, and then I messed it up. Straight across. I have my pieces. They're cut now. They're cut to the right length, size. This is 4 foot wide, so I got one on the ends and a foot on both sides. Leave plenty of space in the middle so I can work with that. I haven't screwed them down. I'm gonna actually build the roof and everything, and then later I will screw it all together. So this is going to be the roofing material. Alright, now the issue I just said I saw is that, can you see that? Can you see that there? This is hitting the roof. So, let's take this off for a moment. Ideally put it right back there. Let's just make sure the roof still sits on there. I had to pull it back a little bit more, but now it's good. Means I need to cut a whole bunch of popsicle sticks in half. Like 300 plus however many's here. Welcome back, guys. So I was going to do a time lapse and I was going to shingle this entire roof with popsicle sticks, and I started working on it and it wasn't easy going, and as you can see, a lot of the staples were not really going through very well. They were still sticking up, or they were splintering the popsicle sticks, because obviously they're popsicle sticks and they're brittle. And I could glue them on, but then I don't know if they'd stay. And while these ones that are still here are staying fairly well, a lot were kind of coming off real easy. And this is a kid's project. You know, my daughter's gonna play with this. I don't need 1,000 staples in there really with her playing with it a lot. As well as, like, they're gonna come off, you know, she'd be getting rough with it and then end up tearing off. Since the staple holes are all in this sheet was only like $4. I'm gonna go buy a new one tomorrow. I got a couple other things to get. So the roof is on pause, but that's you know, you've seen what it's gonna look like. I'm just gonna get a new sheet, just filling you in on that info. I did go ahead and spray paint the front door, needs one more coat, and the elevator, I didn't want to keep that regular just wooden. I was like, it needs painted. And I put together another one of these motors. It's gonna be a fan. I'm gonna work on that here in a minute. You guys love screwing things in with your left hand, with your odd hand. I know I do. Fan work. Fan works. So okay, next I'm gonna take this string light, show you what it's like when you just turn it on. It's just a little battery powered, you know, couple dollar thing from Amazon. And I'm gonna try to string this. I want the switch, I want the battery pack to be like in the kitchen area here. So what I'm gonna try to do is string it up into this side, into both the bathroom and this small bedroom, across the elevator shaft area, into the large bedroom, and then lastly coming down into the living room area. So that's the goal here. That I think there's enough of it here to just use one and string it all the way across. You know, yeah, I'm not gonna have fixtures, there's just gonna be some lighting, but here we go. So I think I want to try and string up a room at a time as I go. So I've got most of it pulled through. Welcome back, guys. I'm real excited today. I've got a plan. I've come up with some stuff. I got some things and I'm ready to get jumping in. So I'm gonna start with taking off this old roof. Last time I talked to you, which will probably be on the same video, I decided I'm not gonna shingle it. I mean, I probably could hot glue this entire thing, but ultimately I decided against it. So I'm gonna take that old one off, get it out of the way. It's almost a little comical. They were, I painted the sidewalls, and the paint held these pieces together, held it on it. So I'm gonna backtrack a little bit with this elevator. That's what I'm real excited about today. I am not going electric or mechanical, and there's a reason for that, and I'll have to explain that to you guys as we go along. So first thing I'm gonna do is take this cord off. I didn't feel great about this cord in the beginning, in the first place, and got a lot better idea now. We're gonna do something a lot better. We're gonna use some paracord, otherwise known as 550 cord, and so like this particular 550 cord is rated for 110 pounds. So it's not even gonna be close. This stuff will be able to hold this elevator very easily. It's gonna look better. It's not gonna be as twingy. It's not gonna fray like the stuff I had before would. I'm going to tape this down to begin with, just to give me a starting point and to hold it in place while I'm doing this. Probably overkilled it on the wrapping this thing, but that's what I do. I overkill it on things sometimes. Alright, still lifts nicely. We're going to leave all of this cord on here until we're done, so we don't cut ourselves short on how much we need. cool. Okay, so what I'm trying to get to right now is this pulley is going to get secured to this board back here so that it can lift this up forward. Oh, I was hitting that light in there. I was like, why isn't that working? And then from there, I'll be able to work something here. So that's what I got to do. So what I need to do is get this through there so I can bolt that on and secure that as tight as possible. So that there. My purpose there was to get 2 marks so I know exactly where to drill these holes. Two small issues. One, maybe it's a little tight still. Two, it's not going to be doing me any good without the whole reason I'm trying to do this, that piece in there. Third time's a charm. Maybe. There we go. Yes, I could actually ratchet this, but you know, when you have the clearance to just completely go 360 and keep it going, to me that goes a lot quicker. You might as well. A good feel now it makes sense to ratchet rather than spin it. To me, you get a good feel for how tight, how much resistance you're getting. Oh yeah, that's probably too tight in there. I probably went too tight. There we go. Now, once we secure this down, check that out. That's going to lift real nice. Only thing is it's pulling, leaning forward just a tiny bit. That probably has to do with this and this cord coming from the backside and not coming across the middle. I never thought about that. Alright, let me fix this. It's kind of annoying, but see if I can show you what I'm talking about here. When it lifts up, see how it leans, like from our perspective right now to the left a little bit, it's leaning forward. I don't think I can make it perfect, but flathead. Who on earth uses flathead screws? No one. Okay, you know what? That screw did nothing. Wonderful. And now it's stripped. Hopefully the bigger. This is turning into a whole thing, isn't it? All right, does it lift any better? Yes, I think so. Before I had a little bit of a forward lean. And let's see now. I feel like as I lift, it comes up pretty straight. Now let's feed this. It's annoying. This is where my craftsmanship has got to get better. In the past, I would have left that be because it had a tiny lean and be like, oh, that's not going to be the end of the world. And those little small details seem to add up. I just took 10 minutes to go backwards and get that. And so now as I lift and pull this way, let me see if I can get to an angle here. Can you guys see, like, that's lifting pretty good. 5 minutes ago, it had a small lean. It wasn't the end of the world, but it had a small lean forward. And it's just those small details where this stuff starts to add up. I have to get better about that. So you guys are kind of challenging me and pushing me to do. Hey everybody, the video is getting pretty long, so I wanted to cut it out and make it a two-part video. And so I'm jumping in here and just gonna wrap up with a little short explanation to why the elevator is gonna not be motorized. You know, I went to the RC shop. I even took the elevator with me, and I was looking for a larger motor than what you saw me use last time. They actually pulled out a motor and showed it to me, and they said it had the torque of pretty much the same torque as like a drill did, like a cordless drill. And you know, I was already sitting there with some thoughts and some not fully knowing what I was going to do as far as the controls for it, whether I was going to have like a remote control or wired it with a similar switch to the one the small motor had, how I was going to deal with it. The people at the RC shop, it's their job. They know those motors much better than me, seemed kind of concerned. They said it was a safety issue. They were saying that I really needed to have like a, I forget the technical term for it, but like a switch that, you know, it'd hit a certain level and it would stop it and shut it off, so that motor couldn't be left on. And you know, in my head, it didn't seem that complicated. I'm thinking, okay, if I just have like a switch that doesn't lock in place, like on off, but like you push it this way and it's going to spin this one direction, you push it the other way, it'll spin the other direction. But it didn't matter. He still seemed concerned. You know, well, what if your daughter runs off with the remote control and is holding it down or something? Yeah, he had concerns about something getting broken. He had concerns about somebody, you know, getting fingers pinched or something in there. Or even the worst case scenario, he was talking about that motor burning up and causing a fire. And it just seemed like it was becoming a lot. Not only was it going to be expensive and elaborate, and it wasn't exactly my wheelhouse, but I had to stop and ask myself, why was I doing it? What was I doing it for? You know, was I doing it for my daughter, for something for her? Or was I trying to do something, you know, elaborate and kind of just a wow factor for you guys? And let's be honest, I was trying to make it be something that just was pretty interesting and unique and cool, just to show it to you guys, and not really doing it for my daughter. And of course, I definitely don't want to do anything that would not be safe. And you know, I talked to him, and this guy was very adamant that he thought my best bet was to do something, you know, like some kind of hand gear or hand crank, or just a hand elevator, and it didn't need to be motorized. So it's an opportunity for me to pause and reset and be like, yeah, this is not necessary and potentially dangerous. And so I'm going to go a different route. You'll see that in the next video. And so this is going to wrap it up for the day, guys. Hit that like button, subscribe, comment, let me know what you think. Thanks. Bye.